This video will review SOL A.6, okay, which says I can graph an equation in slope-intercept form, and if I get an equation that's not in slope-intercept form, I can put it in slope-intercept form so that I can graph it. So, here's an example, y equals 1/3 x minus 2. If we want to graph that, there are two things that we can do, and I'll show you both of them. One thing that we can do is we can graph it using the y-intercept and the slope. So remember, this is slope-intercept form, y equals m x plus b, so this is my slope right here, and this -2 out at the end is my y-intercept. So that would be the first point that I would graph, be -2 on the y-axis. And then this is my slope, so it tells me that to get to my next point, I would have to move up 1 and right 3. And I'm moving up and right because 1/3 is positive, so both of them go in a positive direction. And I would keep doing that until I run out of room. So go up 1 over 3 again. That gives me 3 points. Remember that if it won't fit on your graph, you can also go in the opposite direction. So if I went up 1, right 3, I can go down 1, left 3. So I could also do a bunch of points in that direction, down 1, left 3 again. And then I would be able to draw this straight line that is my graph. The second thing that you can do is you can use your calculator to graph these. Alright, if you remember on the calculator, we want to go to the table function. So wherever in menu, alright, and pick table. And then we're going to type in our equation. So the thing that we are graphing is y equals 1/3 x minus 2. Alright, and that's what we're graphing. And then I hit F6 for the table. Okay, it gives me some decimal numbers. Remember, we're only going to use the ones that are whole numbers, and you can type in whatever you want here for x values. So if I type in 0, for example, it tells me I should have a point at 0, -2, and I do. It tells me that at 3, I should have a point at 3, -1. And we could type in more x values if you needed them until you got enough to draw a straight line. So you can either use the y-intercept and the slope to count points, or you can put the table in your calculator. Alright, so that is the easiest type of graphing because it's already in slope-intercept form. You also need to be able to take an equation like this, 3x minus 2y equals 12, and put it into slope-intercept form. So remember, that means that we're trying to get the y by itself, so I need to move the x to the other side. To do that, I do the opposite of whatever's there, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So now on this side, 3x minus 3x is 0, so I'm left with -2y. And over here, 12 and -3x cannot be combined because they are not like terms. This one has an x and that one does not. And because I'm going to write it in slope-intercept form, I'm going to go ahead and write the x term first. So -3x plus 12 is what's on the other side. Okay. Finally, I need y by itself, so I'm going to divide by -2. And when I divide over here, I'm going to divide everything by -2. So I get y equals -3 divided by -2. That would simplify to positive 3 over 2x. 12 divided by -2 is -6. Alright, and then again, you have two options for graphing these. We can use the slope and y-intercept. So my first point would be at -6 on the y-axis, and then I have a slope of positive 3/2, so I'm going to go up 3 over 2. Up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 2. Up 3 over 2. And that would give me enough points to draw my line. Alright, let's just double check and see if the points there match up with points in the calculator. So the equation that I'm graphing is 3/2 x minus 6. Alright, if I look at my table, it says I should have a point at 2, -3, and we do. It says we should have a point at 4, 0. Let's just double check. I have a point at 6, 3, so if I type in 6 for an x value, I get 3 for a y value, so that's how we know we did it correctly. Okay, and that's it for our quick review of graphing lines.